I dropped my keys, just a clatter against the polished floor, nothing unusual, but the way he froze when he bent down, my wife's boss, made my chest tighten. His hand trembled as he handed them back, and the whisper barely left his lips. "Sir, does your wife know whose building this is?" I took the keys without a word, my fingers brushing his for a fraction too long. Inside, something twisted, a cold certainty creeping up my spine. I smiled politely, nodded, and walked away. Outside, the party laughter pressed against the glass. Inside, I felt the storm. For weeks, there had been subtle signs, a text left unread, a smell of perfume I didn't recognize, the quiet phone calls, hushed tones, disappearing in the middle of the day. I told myself I was imagining it. I wanted to, but that whisper, it confirmed everything I had refused to see. At home, I watched her. Her smiles, the way her eyes flitted to the screen too quickly, the laughter that never quite reached her eyes. My mind raced through every interaction, replaying conversations, searching for cracks. And then, the faintest detail, a key fob I had never seen before, tucked in her bag. My blood ran cold, not for what it was, but for how neatly she had hidden it. I didn't confront, not yet. I observed, I recorded, I traced. Every phone call logged, every route memorized. I learned her schedule as if it were my own heartbeat. Friends noticed my calm. I was composed, detached, but inside, a predator waited. I mapped the moments, planned my exposure. One evening, a DNA test arrived, a small envelope. I opened it slowly, deliberately, letting the silence stretch. The truth stared back at me, sterile, unyielding, confirmation, proof. The betrayal wasn't subtle anymore, it was absolute. I read the numbers again and again, every statistic, every match, undeniable. When I handed her the envelope, she froze, her hand twitched, eyes wide with panic. "Did you know?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I let her fear fill the space between us. She had lied with every word, every touch, every quiet glance. Now she had no words left. I watched the color drain from her face as comprehension sank in. The coldest part of me smiled, not with joy, but with clarity. Next, the boss. I didn't call him out in a fit of rage. I orchestrated a meeting under the guise of routine. He arrived, calm, collected, unaware of the trap. I slid the keys across the table, watching him stiffen. I let the pause stretch. "You remember these?" I asked softly. His throat moved, unable to form words. His face betrayed him more than any confession could. The realization hit him in waves. He understood what I had known, long before he ever whispered that warning. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't yell. I simply let the truth settle over him like a shroud. She had thought she could manipulate, deceive, control. He had thought he could protect secrets. Both were wrong. My calm, my observation, my patience, they were weapons, and now they were disarmed. Walking away from the office later, I felt the weight lift. Not relief, not satisfaction, only clarity. I had seen the truth, exposed it. The chaos they had cultivated in my life was laid bare, powerless against my awareness. At home, I looked around, saw the ordinary scattered like broken glass. I touched nothing, said nothing. The world outside continued, oblivious. I had no intention of reconciliation, no desire for apologies. I simply existed above it all, a quiet storm contained. The keys sat on the counter, symbols of control regained, of a reality untangled. I didn't take revenge through shouting or violence. I had reclaimed the one thing they underestimated: knowledge, insight, the slow, inevitable exposure of truth. and as I walked into the empty kitchen, letting the silence envelop me, I understood that some victories aren't loud, some devastations are silent, cold, precise. I closed the door behind me, and in that final click, I felt the last thread of their deception snap. No forgiveness, no tears, only control.